that way, it's a comfort.
When we return, when this guy has a Big Mac attack, he doesn't reach for a hamburger.
This is a 1926 AB Mack. They call that the pup.
Hillsborough, New Hampshire, the sort of quaint New England mill town where you might go for a little peace and quiet. You won't find it in Dick Kemp's yard unless your idea of serenity involves internal combustion. Dick Kemp collects used trucks, really big trucks, like the 18-wheelers that passes every day on the interstate. That's over 600 tons worth of chrome, rubber, and rust sitting out behind Dick's garage.
They all call me the Mack man, but because I've got more Macks, but I'm a Sterling man.
Dick Kemp's love of machinery began when he was just 7 years old, when he and his brother would stop by the local mill after school to watch trucks hauling material. Dick's boyhood romance turned into a career as, what else? A truck driver.
I started out on them when I was a kid. 18 years old, I started driving these on construction. To me, they've always been the greatest.
Dick Kemp's garden of Macks and Sterlings is an old yard that's been in his family for generations. At last count, Kemp had 134 trucks out there, many of them in good running condition. But Dick doesn't need to hit the highway to enjoy his collection.
Well, it's just the idea. If I want to see one, I can come out here and look at it. So I don't have to travel 100 or 200 miles or go to a show to see a truck. I can just come out here in the yard and look at it, and there it is.
I think in a couple of different ways the collection is an extension of self, that we feel somehow broader, bigger people when we're surrounded by our collection. And so it's a sense of self that we've been able to craft and create, playing by our own rules, making our own boundaries and defining what the collection is.
Dick bought his first truck in 1953. Most of the hundreds that followed were bought as salvage or rescued from junkyards. The cost? Anywhere from $25 to $800 per truck.
They don't do it for money, but I know that they're worth some, and I've turned down $13,000 for that Bulldog there. But that doesn't mean anything to me. And you know, my collection, and the price doesn't mean anything, and they're not for sale. But you know, I might buy one in 2 or 3 years, and then I might buy 10 in a year. It just depends on how they fall into line. If it's something that's going to be cut up, and if I'm interested in it. If it's something I worked with years ago, then I'm interested in it. You know, I got good memories of them, so I'll buy it and have it around to look at.
Collectors sometimes will purposefully choose a collecting area because there's some tie into their profession, some tie into a part of their past, their heritage, whatever it might be.
This is a 1926 AB Mack. They call that the pup. And this is a Bulldog. And this is a 1960 Diamond T. That's a diesel. This is a 1936 Caterpillar tractor, and it'll plow 22 feet with the wings down and the plow down.
Dick Kemp takes great pride in his expertise, and like most extreme collectors, he can tell you more than you probably need or might want to know about the details of his collection.
And they always had a 24-inch steering wheel, which a lot of trucks had smaller, 22s, 20s.
Even when people collect something that seems very silly, their sense of pride of thinking, look, I know everything there is to know about miniature chairs. And you think, oh my God, why would anyone want to know anything about miniature chairs? But if you've come to feel that you know just everything there is and you can identify one across the room, it gives you a real sense that you know something and you've mastered something and you've got a kind of depth of knowledge that otherwise might be hard to find in your job or in your daily life.
Everybody asks you, why do you do it? And I didn't get a reason other than just that I like to see the trucks. And, you know, it's something that I worked with, and you don't see them anymore. So if I don't save them, who's going to?
We have this mixed sort of positive and negative spin that society in general puts on collecting. It's not wholly normal, and yet we can see some things that we admire in collectors. The passion, the competitiveness, the dedication, all of those sorts of things are seen as positive traits.
Hey, we got ripe seeds.
The stuff is preserved, and it can be found no place else, and you do give some insight into the general narrative, the cultural narrative, either if it's of a society or if it's of a literature or a culture. You're performing a service. I don't think you're intending to perform the service, but you do, and I do believe the collector does that.
Not all collections are as extreme as the ones we've shown you, but there are bizarre collections of all types. Zipper pulls, barbed wire, tennis ball cans, sugar packets. One New Yorker has become well known around the globe for his collections of air sickness bags. Now, the internet has allowed collectors to trade practically anything on Earth. eBay, the world's largest online auction site, has more than 100 million registered users. At the time this program was taped, there were almost 400 items listed under Pez dispensers, and 39 bedpans were up for grabs. Whatever happened to Barbie dolls and model planes? That's our report. Thanks for watching. I'm John Siegenthal.
To subscribe to our MSNBC Primetime newsletter or for information on upcoming programs, go to prime.msnbc.com.